everyone! Today we're going to make some May Day paper birds using a watercolor painting, some tissue paper, some glue, scissors, and something to draw with. Here I'm folding the painting in half along the edge and then turning it the other way so the painting has the wrong side facing up. And then I'm going to use my crayon, you can use a pencil or anything that you have, to draw an outline of a bird. I'll post a picture of the outline so you can copy it, or you can make up your own if you're feeling comfortable and creative. This first one is an example of a blue jay type bird with feathers at the top of his head. And you want to make sure that your drawing is along the folded line so that the two sides stay attached. On this side, I'm going to draw a different type of bird that's a little bit more rounded and has a different kind of tail. These are just two different examples of the style of bird you can make, and again I'll post a picture so you can see what it looks like after. Next, you're just going to cut out the shape that you like best, pick the bird that you prefer, and just cut along the line that you drew, making sure to leave 2 points that are attached on the folded edge at the top of the head and where the tail meets the line. Now I've turned it the right side, and you can see it's actually starting to look like a bird, and you can take your crayons or your colored pencils and you can make a little eye and a beak. This would be something the children would do, obviously. They can make their own, decorate it however much or however little they like. I also decided to draw wings on this one, and you can see you can use one color or any color, no matter what. It'll look really beautiful, and it's a fun project for the kids to do, to color it in. Next, we're going to take our tissue paper and scissors and pick whatever color you would like and cut long, thin strips out of it, about 1 inch wide or 2.5 centimeters. I had to hold it down with something because it was a little bit windy out while I was recording. I chose to do mine in green, blue, and yellow to match my bird, but of course the children can pick whatever color they would like. For this project, the strips will be doubled in half lengthwise, so if you cut 3 strips, you'll actually end up with 6 tails. You can do as many or as few as you would like, depending on the supplies you have and your personal preference. Next, we're going to glue the pieces of tissue paper down into the tail to become feathers of the bird. So I just open the bird and put some glue right at the top of the tail, and then fold a tissue paper strip in half and place it right on the crease. And then I put another layer of glue so the next piece will stick. I also folded this one in half and placed it right along the edge. And one more bit of glue to put our last piece of tissue paper. These all look really beautiful flying in the wind behind the birds as the children play with them outside, and it just adds a nice touch of color. For this bird, I'm going to use a stick that I found in the yard as the handle, but you could also use a wooden chopstick, which I'll show in the next bird. So take your stick or chopstick and find the smallest and flattest part, and put it right in the center of your bird on the bottom half. And I put some glue all around it. I would suggest also using some tape to put the stick in place. I didn't do it on the first one and it was alright, but I think it would be stronger if you did use a piece of tape, and I'll show you how we do that with the second bird. So once your glue is down, put your stick in place and then fold the bird over, making sure that the tissue paper is out behind it. And just press it around the stick. And here it is finished. For our next bird, I used a different painting, folded it along the same middle edge. I turned it the wrong side, showing first, and then I drew a different kind of bird. And this one you see has a line in the middle for the wing. Then just cut it out the same as our last project. For some of the older children, this is a really good practice for them in their cutting skills, but if you have a younger one, you can do this part for them. To cut the slot for the wings, just fold your bird gently in the middle and then cut along that line that you drew. This part I think all the children might need help with, as the painting paper can be a little bit stiff. So I just folded it in half and then cut the slit, and you can see now there's a little area to put something inside. Then again I drew some features onto the bird, some feathers, eyes, and a beak, and some detail on the tail as well. This can be a really fun and creative part of the project for the children to do and make it as detailed as they would like. So next, take your tissue paper again and fold it in half and cut a strip that's about, I think mine was about 6 inches long, or maybe 5 inches. You really can do whatever size you'd like depending on what style you'd want to do. Obviously the smaller, the shorter the wings. So take the tissue paper and fold it back and forth accordion style. And again, this is something that older children might be able to do themselves with a little bit of guidance, but the younger ones may need help. So just folding it back and forth until you get to the end. Now you can take this little bundle of tissue paper and slide it through the slot that we cut out in our bird to create the wings. Pull it so it's about halfway, and then put glue along the inside edge of the tissue paper, the top of the bird, and then the other side, and then they can stick together to create a little fan for the wings. And you can do the same on the bottom, but first we'll use our chopstick this time, and some tape instead of just glue. So I used some duct tape. You won't be able to see it once the project is finished. So open your bird as much as you can, put the chopstick inside, and then use duct tape to tape the chopstick right to the edge of the bird. Then I used another piece of duct tape as double-sided tape and just rolled it and put it on top of the chopstick so the other side of the bird would also stick. Then to finish it up, we just put a little bit of glue on the bottom part of the tissue paper on both sides so that it will stick nicely to the bird and you have these full, beautiful wings. And here they both are finished. They're wonderful toys to play with outside or inside, and fun to do puppet shows and stories with as well.